Today we're going to look at the worst colorless cards, Magic the Gathering, on the reserve list. I'm just finishing off a series I started like a year ago. Okay, we're going to start off with the Elephant Graveyard. It is a land. It taps for 1 colorless mana.
Simba must never go there.
Yeah, Simba must not go there. And that's the best part of this. Or you can regenerate an elephant or a mammoth. And frankly, I don't know if there's any, like, relevant elephants or mammoths in this game.
They are going to be in real life, though.
Well, here, they can't hear you. Not very well.
I can hear it. But you know about that, right? We got mammoth DNA. They're going to be making one.
They're going to genetically make a mammoth one?
We're bringing them back.
They're going to bring back the mammoths. You heard it here first. Or you heard it in some sort of Science Now video. Anyway, yeah, not the most genius card on the reserve list. So not every card on the reserve list is amazing, but this is actually an expensive land. Is there something I'm missing here? I wouldn't think so. All right, moving on. We've got Paul Rogg's Ashnod's Silex. Silex? Ashnod's Silex. This is some 2-mana artifact. Pay 3 to tap it, and target player looks at the top 3 cards of their library, puts one of them back on top of their library, then removes the rest from the game? What? Okay, target player looks at the top 3 cards of their library, put one back, removes the rest. This looks like some sort of Thassa's Oracle combo card that nobody's heard of. Like, that's how it works, right? You just keep one, get rid of the rest. Yeah, it's like, was this pre-scry? The cost of scrying is so dangerous. It's too dangerous to stay alive. We must have the disadvantage of exiling your entire library. Oh no, hold on, exile. Put the top. No, it just removes the other cards from the game. It's actually even better in some ways. You pay 3 tap. You're like going 3 cards deep. And you're exiling. At first I thought we're exiling because they mentioned library, then remove the rest. Other than the 1 card you put on top from the game. No, they're just talking about the rest of the 3 cards. Damn. Yeah, exile the other 2 cards. I got too excited at first. You know, cards always look better on the first glance, at the first read. Yeah, a little bit of exile tech over there. Well, the only disadvantage is it's really clunky. You're spending 5 mana to do this really crappy scry. Or maybe it's a better scry. I don't know. Maybe it is worth 3. Not sure about it. All right, next up, let's look at Bob Talks the Bridge, the Amulet of Unmaking. Amulet of Unmaking is a 5-mana artifact. Pay 5, tap. Remove Amulet of Unmaking from the game. Remove target artifact, creature, or land from the game. Place ability as a sorcery. Remove Amulet. Remove target artifact, creature, or land from the game. It is like permanent removal. And anyone has access to this thing. That'd be insane if you get to remove your whole library. Hey, we basically have cards like that. Not as cheap as that other thing. So I guess back what am I missing here? This is removal for any color. Yeah, it costs 10 mana, but like, you know, the game was like pretty slow back then. Remove it from the game, remove target. So it's just basically exile target artifact, creature, or land. Activate only as a sorcery. It's not that bad. It's really good for a bad card. And you can get it for $1.30. It's never gonna be top tier, but you know what? Under the right conditions, it's not the worst. 10 mana, exile 1 thing? Yeah. Hey, not every color in the color pie can exile things, alright? Some colors in the pie, they would die. They would spend 10 mana to exile 1 thing. Playable with Tolarian Academy. Well, you have to exile this thing too, alright? So, like, they both go down together. Alright, let's look at the pyramids from Chen Fred. The pyramids. Today is just all crappy lands and crappy artifacts. Pyramids for 6. It's a poly artifact. Pay 2. Prevents a land from being destroyed or removes an enchantment from play. What an odd ability. Okay, yeah, we destroy target aura attached to a land. What? It got even more specific? Oh yeah, it removes an enchantment from any land. Okay, so removes Spreading Seas? That's horribly specific. And the next time target land would be destroyed this turn, remove all damage marked on it instead. Why would a land... They actually printed this way before they had the creature lands. It's like, since when back then could damage be on a land in the first place? Also, it doesn't tap for mana. Very strange. Oh no, it's not a land. It's called the Pyramids, but it's actually just an artifact. That's it. Is Circle of Protection on the reserve list? No. None of that. They've reprinted Circle of Protection 100 billion times. Is there any way to damage? Oh, there's plenty of ways. You activate Treetop Village, you shock it, boom. It's got land. Oh, sorry, it's a land that has taken damage. If you lightning bolt it, it has lethal damage. And so the pyramids can go... They were forward thinking. They printed the answer to the bolts that would hit your, like, raging ravines deep 20 years into the future. Poly artifacts can be activated multiple times. Mono is a tap. Yeah, and they have got the activation ability here. Okay, next up, let's look at Christopher V's Ventifact Bottle. It is a 3-mana artifact. Pay 1 X, tap. Put X charge counters on the Ventifact Bottle. Play as a sorcery. Now, at the beginning of your main phase, if Ventifact Bottle has any charge counters on it, tap Ventifact Bottle and remove all charge counters from it to add to your mana pool an amount of colorless mana equal to the number of charge counters removed. What? Mirror combat, if as a charge counter on it, tap and remove. Oh, so we can tap and then... So we're charging it up! You know, it's just like all those charging lands. Instead, this is a charging artifact.
Is that crystal?
You're building it up. You get a bunch of mana out of it. Lucas with... Is Mishra's War Machine. Is that on the reserve list? Not on the reserve list! Disqualified! Congratulations. The first one to get the buzzer today. But probably not the last. Let's look at Turat's card. The Ring of Gix. Ring of Gix is on the reserve list. Alright. It's one of the last things to go on the reserve list. We have a 3-mana artifact with Echo. Pay 1 tap, tap target artifact, creature, or land. That is a unique ability. It's like Rishadan Port and... no, I guess... What is it closer to? No, it's just Icy Manipulator. It is a way worse Icy Manipulator. You have to pay... Okay, it should have been like 2 mana with Echo. Because at 3 mana, you're basically wasting 2 turns. I mean, I guess you'll have it activated by turn 4, but that's a bit too late. And I think it was completely power crept out of the game at that point. Very, very, very bad. Oh, King Ginger's talking about the last one. The Coalition Relic before there was Coalition Relic. The Ventifact Bottle. True story. See, they can reprint all reserve list cards, just in a completely new form. War Machine not on the reserve list? My life has been a lie. Or someone else lied to you. Okay, Uark! Claimed by the Phyrexian. With the Golgothian Silex. Golgothian Silex for 4 mana. Pay 1. All cards from the Antiquities expansion, including Golgothian Silex, must be discarded from play. It's actually $44. That's actually wild. I'm pretty sure this probably sees some play in like 90 in the 93-94 format. It's like a 4-mana destroy. Well, I mean, it destroys everything from what is it? Everything from Antiquities. When did this come out? Oh, they don't have the year over here anymore. I don't know when Antiquities came out, but I think it's in the 93-94 range. Outside of 93-94, completely useless. You gonna dare bring this in? Imagine bringing this into your Commander game and blowing up all your opponent. I don't know, their Mishra's workshop. I don't know how many super popular cards from Antiquities people would play. And remember, it also counts if it was reprinted somewhere else. So if it was originally printed in Antiquities, it still blows it up. You go get those cards. This is the worst card. The worst cards, Barbara. That's one of the best cards. Come on, we've had those types of shows before. What does discarded from play mean in today? Just destroy it. Sacrifice it. Hold on. We got an Oracle text here. Pay 1, tap. Oh, you have to tap this thing. Because it was a mono artifact. Each non-token permanent with a name originally printed in the Antiquities expansion is sacrificed by its controller. Look at that. It's not even destroy. It's sacrifice. You get them big time. Candelabros. Oh yeah, Candelabros and Antiquities as well. Those are good ones. Okay, let's move on to Yo Little Ted with Mangara's Tome. It is a 5-mana artifact. When Mangar's Tome comes into play, search your library and choose any 5 cards. Shuffle these cards and put them face down under Mangar's Tome. Shuffle your library afterwards. Don't forget to shuffle your library. Make sure someone cuts your deck, too. If you lose control of Mangar's Tome, remove all cards under it from the game. And also you pay to, instead of drawing a card, put the top card from under Mangar's Tome into your hand. Are they random? Choose any 5 cards. These, shuffle these cards. Oh yeah, okay, so you shuffle it. Gotta get someone else to shuffle that 5-card abomination. Imagine one of those 5 cards is a foil. Like one of the, like a curved foil. Like, of course you know which one it is. Oh, Lord likes it. Very, very underrated. I guess you can look for 5 cards of anything. Like, oh, sorry, 5, like, of a very similar effect. And then if you just need to draw, you just draw exactly that. At 5 mana, you already have the 2 mana. You can go get one of those things. 7 mana Awkward Tutor. Unless all the tutor targets are basically the same. You know, if it be Windfall or Wheel of Fortune or Time Twister, it's all, you know, maybe you just need 7-ish cards, you know? It's a 7 mana semi-tutor. Look, it looks for 5 cards, and you're going to get one at random, because you don't even know what card it's going to be, unless you mark the cards. Why give creatures cumulative upkeep if you can destroy them all, especially in Commander? Well, we don't give them. I mean, you're talking about the Silex? So I'm not sure what card you're in reference to. Let's move on with the Arcanus Ultra's Sandals of Abdallah. Abdallah. Okay, we got.
Just walk awkward sandals.
No, this is like. Well, I mean, I don't think your toe is supposed to go to the end. You know, it's just for style. It was the style at the time. Okay, we pay 4. It's a mono artifact, which means it taps. Pay 2, tap. Gives 1 creature island walk ability until end of turn. I'm sold. Send it. We're putting it straight into the Merfolk deck. If that creature is destroyed before end of turn, so are the sandals. No! This is like... It's like a weird vehicle or something like that.
Yeah, just put it on your shoes and you go.
It actually makes some sense. Like, you know what? I mean, when we crew a vehicle, if one thing dies, probably both should die, technically, flavor-wise. Like, if you blow up the smuggler's copter... Or if you blow up the sandals, which obviously is being crewed up by a creature, I mean, you probably blew the creature's feet off. Am I right? Am I right? So destroy the sandals? I mean, what, the feet are just going to be there empty? Yeah, not my sandals.
Yeah, like a cartoon, you know?
Yeah.
You blew right out of your boots.
Oh, yeah, do you know what I think? Yeah, sandals are more like the equipment. Same deal. You destroy the equipment, unless the equipment, like, it depends. I guess some equipment could be like armor that sheds off of you. I don't see the same thing for the sandals. But they included the flavor. You know, if the creature is destroyed, then the sandals are destroyed as well. Makes a lot of sense. We got a super chat from Allie. Thank you so much for your super chat. I really appreciated it. And do you know who else is going to appreciate it, Allie? King Ginger, suggesting the Acidic Dagger. These are some wild old cards. All right, we got a 4-mana artifact. Pay 4, tap. Destroy any non-wall creature. Receiving combat damage from target creature this turn. If targeted creature leaves play, bury Acidic Dagger. Uses ability only once. Oh, sorry, only before defense is chosen. So I've got to show people what I'm going to do? Well, let's read the Oracle text here. If I understand correctly, I gotta like target the creature I'm attacking with and target a wall that I'm assuming they're gonna try to defend with. And then if you block, then the wall gets destroyed. Whenever target creature deals combat damage to a non-wall creature this turn, destroy that non-wall. Oh, okay. When the targeted creature leaves the battlefield this turn, sacrifice only before blockers are declared. Okay, so it's not as bad. Okay, so I just target a random creature I have, and then if you block with a non-wall, it's blown up. It's essentially giving it death touch for non-walls. Because it's an acidic dagger. You're going to get, you know, the wall is not going to die to a damn dagger, all right? You can stab the wall all you want. You're just going to blunt the blade. Uark with Urza's Miter is on the Orts writing on a card? What the hell does that mean? Urza's Mitre. Okie dokie. It's the Pope. Yeah, it's the Pope Hat card. 3 mana. Whenever an artifact you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, if it wasn't sacrificed, you may pay 3. If you do draw a card. That is a very interesting card. So if
modern legal.
It is a funny thing though. It like because a lot of artifact decks they do sacrifice, so not gonna have any synergy with like Krark-Clan Ironworks. Not gonna have synergy with like Arcbound Ravager. But if you blow up my stuff, I can pay 3 and draw a card off of it. The reason he had the Pope Hat, the jewels were the Power Stones. They were the Power Stones all along. All right, moving on. Let's look at Amulet of Unmaking. Christopher B, it might be your time to shine today. Okay, we have a 5. No, we did this one already. Unbelievable. Already doubles. There aren't even that many cards. There are quite a few cards. Okay, so we'll go with Apocalypse Chime. Apocalypse Chime. Because Homeland sucks. This has to be one of the worst. You better believe it. Okay, we have a 2 mana artifact, pay 2 tap. Sacrifice Apocalypse Chime to bury all cards from the Homelands expansion. These cards were too dangerous to stay alive. Yeah, nobody wants this card. Now, this is a card, unlike Antiquities, this card is not very well loved. It is a 73-cent card. That is a penny stocks card. Some people are really banking on Homelands to make a big comeback. I don't know if there's any... I guess Merchant Scroll can be maybe reprinted into Modern or something. Maybe in some stupid, weird way. Oh no, all my Homelands are gone. Oh well. And the worst thing is, like, the best card is a sorcery. Merchant Scroll isn't even a permanent. Are you gonna rebury my sorcery? Yeah, good luck with that. Okay, Georth with the Tower of Coriol? Tower Coriol! It's a 4 mana artifact. You get to tap. Target creature cannot be blocked by walls until end of turn. Now, if you simultaneously combine this with the what is it, the dagger, the acidic dagger, then they're completely screwed. They can't be blocked by walls, and if you block me with a creature, you're gonna have it destroyed. I'm sure that was a combo back then. Haha. You thought you had a wall to get around my acidic dagger, but I had the Tower of the Coriol. And my creature cannot be blocked by walls either. You're just gonna have to lose your creature. Gods, do I want the Chime to get a retrain. The anti-changeling tech. Oh yeah, that's true. Also, all the changelings are walls in a very bizarre bizarre way. I always confuse this with Ensnaring Bridge or similar. Really? It is sort of an ensnaring bridge. I mean, or maybe not ensnaring. You try to cross this bridge without the thing being drawn completely. You're a goner. Nikachu, you guys stop with these OP combos with the reserve list cards. There's only so many of them to go around. I know. Well, this one is $1, okay? Get them while they last. Now, next one. Lord Trevor says, the Might Stone from Antiquities. In the lore, this and the Weak Stone were necessary for keeping the Phyrexia at bay. Might Stone from... do I just look up Might Stone? The Might Stone! The 4 mana artifact. Attacking creatures get +1/+0. It doesn't even restrict it to yours. Everyone gets the Might Stone. When the Might Stone is in play, everybody gets a little bit of action here. While exploring the sacred cave of Koilos with his brother Mishra and their master Tokasia, Urza fell behind in the Hall of the Tagsin, where he discovered the remarkable Might Stone. Yeah, walls don't automatically have defender anymore, so the changelings can attack. Attacking walls! This is a funny card, because like you basically buff everybody's stuff on the battlefield at once. If you think you can't, well, you can now with the Might Stone.
$8.
The Might Stone seems not very mighty. Whoa, 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 whoa. You say that, but then in the range of a token deck, they could use more might. Every little power matters. Okay, moving on. We'll go with Canty's Amulet of Quaz. Oh god, this card. Okay, 6 mana. Remove Amulet of Quaz from your deck before playing if you're not playing for ante. Tap, sack it. Target opponent may ante the top card of your library. If they don't, you flip a coin. If you win the flip, they flip a coin, huh? If you win the flip, that player loses the game. If you win the flip, you lose the game. Activate only during your upkeep. This is like #1 for cards Wizards of the Coast wants to forget ever happened.
Banned everywhere.
It is, oh yeah, it is hyper banned everywhere, and for good reason. I mean, you have the game being defined by like flipping coins. You've got the game defined by ante and wagering cards. This is like, if you mention Amulet of Quaz anywhere in public, they'll like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know who you are. This is confidential information. We're getting out of here. If there was like a meeting, like some sort of open conference, like a panel or something that Wizards posted, if you mention Amulet Quaz, they'll be like, okay, this conference and panel is over. We gotta go. It's lunchtime.
This presentation is closed.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, we got Alpha Nerd with a Bone Mask. We got for Bone Mask. We got the 4 mana artifact. Pay 2, tap. Prevent all damage to you from any one source. Not bad. For each 1 damage prevented this way, remove the top card of your library from the game. Not bad. That's actually pretty good. And it's actually really cheap. It is less than $1. That's really good value. I think this is one of the better, crappier cards that we've seen today. The protection offered comes at a price. How numerous are your kin? This is actually an excellent card in Commander because you have like way more cards in your deck than you have life, generally speaking, depending on the deck. Yeah, I like it. Maybe you want to exile the cards from your deck from the game. Lord says, I play ante, your cards are all mine. I can't imagine playing for ante these days. Sounds terrible. We did Acidic Dig. An amazing card. Okay, let's get another free one. Let's get Soldelvi Digger by Someone2Foresee and Christopher B. Soldelvi Digger. They digging. Is it like Dig Dug? The 2 mana artifact, pay 2. Put the top card of your library on the bottom of your library. I wonder what this comboed with at the time. Like, I guess you had access to the top of your library in some way. Like, you can look at the top card of your library. So this came out in Alliances. Quite a few sets had come out up to this point. Does it combo with River Song? It was the River Song combo, huh? Oh, this is a new card. Get out of here. Get out of here. They did not print it back then, hoping that it was going to combo with River Song one day, 30 years into the future. This ceaseless device has helped uncover marvels unreachable by mere flesh. Arkham Dagson. Soldevi Mechanist. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. It sort of combos with... It's not that expensive. Like, it's 2 mana for the artifact. You pay 2. Top card. Oh, Graveyard. And that's good too. That is good too. Put the top card of your graveyard on the bottom. I missed that. Today that's there. I'm gonna give myself this. I gotta make a sound effect probably for every single time I read the card wrong. Or I'm like reading the card, but I'm interpreting it wrong. Okay, that's actually a lot better. Now, and then you need the shuffling guy. You need that. Okay, so you put a card from your graveyard back into your deck. It's on the bottom, but then you have to just shuffle your deck, and then it's all good. Taonos' Coffin. We haven't done that one, Hiru. Okay, let's look at Taonos' Coffin. There's we have not gone through even half these cards. All right. What the hell is this? It's like some sort of space person. You may choose not to untap Taonos' Coffin during your untap step. You can also pay 3, tap, exile target creature and all auras attached to it. Note the number and kind of counters that were on that creature. When Taonos' Coffin leaves the battlefield or becomes untapped, return the exiled card to the battlefield under its owner's control tapped and with the noted number of kind of counters on it. If you do, return other exiled cards to the battlefield under their owner's control attached to that permanent. Why don't they just say it's phased out? It sounds so close to phasing.
It's 125 bones.
It's not the worst. It's not like you could also remove your own creature, sweep the board, and then how does this come back? When Towns's Coffin leaves the battlefield or becomes untapped. So you can choose not to untap it, but then you can choose to untap it. Pretty cool card. That's not too bad. It's not bad for the worst of the worst artifacts on the reserve list. Dark Star Ashura with the Ring of Gix. No, we did Ring of Gix. Yeah, this is the crappy icy manipulator. All right, we gotta donate that one. Who are we donating it to?
Toad sends one for me apparently.
What is it?
Scroll up a bit.
Okay, Tika's Dragon. You see that, Toads? My brother's looking out for you. Toads always says I never read it. Toad's chats. Okay, we have a 9-mana 5/5 artifact creature with Flying, Trample, and Rampage 4.
It's Rampage.
Well, it's got reminder text. If you just let me explain it, I'll tell you. For each creature assigned to block it beyond the first, this creature gets +4/+4 until end of turn. So you can get bigger, assuming it's blocked.
Why is it this modern legal?
Because it's on the reserve list. That's the whole point of today's show. Cards that are on the no print list, they're never getting printed again. Tika's Dragon counts as a dragon. Well, thank God. 9 mana for this damn thing, for this 4-handed monstrosity. Unbelievable.
I like it. I wish it was modern legal.
Yeah, just don't block it then. Exactly. Well, this way forward. Oh, your name's Tika's Dragon. This way through, my good sir.
VIP.
Yeah, the VIP treatment here. If you want to say no, they're gonna say something to that bodyguard. That's for sure. Make sure you have a bodyguard bigger than Tika's Dragon. Make sure you have an Emrakul or something. Never get printed again. Wizards goes, we'll do it again. MTG 40. That's right. More proxies, which are perfectly legal in the 93-94 format. Okay, so that was our super chat one. Let's go with Nemalime with Diamond Kaleidoscope. It is a 4-mana artifact. Pay 3 tap. Put a Prism token into play. Treat this token as a 0/1 artifact creature. Sacrifice a Prism token. What, for nothing? Yeah, it's a free sacrifice outlet. Add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Play this ability as a mana source, which these days just means add a mana.
There's a bird in there. It's making like a bird man.
Yes. A pretty toy. Now show me its tactical application, which it has none, because we're just sacking it for mana. It is a 7. Okay, we are spending effectively 7 mana to make 1 mana. Yeah, you need mana to make mana around here. Yeah, exactly. A 0/1 creature or a treasure, effectively. Okay, we have spending 7 mana for a 0/1 treasure. All right, your treasures can block now. Wild card. All right, well, you heard that music. That means we got to thank our sponsors, where you can get these worst cards on the reserve list of all time. Some of them are under $1. You might want to get them for your commander deck. At FusionGamingOnline.com. What's the deal of the week? We're still at the 50% off tons of items pre-Black Friday sale, but also I am already assembling and getting my Tishana's Tide Binders and Deeproot Pilgrimages for Modern, because there are decks that you need to update in your favorite formats that came out of the Lost Caverns of Ixalan. And don't forget to use coupon code Nikachu at checkout for 5% off all your purchases. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place for renting Magic cards online to be able to play any format, any deck that you want, especially when a new set comes out. There's tons of new things you want to play around with and tinker with and become the innovator of your format. You're going to want to do it with Mana Traders. You can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 10% off your first 2 months by renting the cards with coupon code Nikachu_R4Z. And then back to the abomination of artifacts. Wild artifacts around here. Okay, we got a super chat here from Darkstar Ashura's Jester's Cap.
Mask.
Well, there is a Jester's Cap. I guess there was the whole Jester's everything. Jester's socks.
We saw those sandals earlier.
Yeah, we say Jester's socks. Jester's I don't know, ballerina bottom. Okay, we got, it's a 5-mana artifact. Mask comes into play tapped. Pay 1, tap, sacrifice Jester's Mask. Target opponent puts the cards from their hand on top of their library. Search that player's library for that many cards. That player puts those cards into his or her hand, then shuffles his or her library. What the hell? Target opponent puts cards from the top of their hand on top of their library. Search that player's library for that many cards. Oh, so I just exchanged their hand with a bunch of lands? Is that what this is all about?
You could.
Because I think that's the only thing I can do with this. Pay 1, tap, sack it. Target opponent puts the cards in their hand on the top of their library. Oh, but they can still draw them for the turn. Search that player's library for that many cards. Oh, no, but then we shuffle their deck.
Shuffle it.
Yeah, I can just fill their hand with lands. Actually, not terrible. So basically, it's a hand nuke card. I heard you don't like getting mana screwed. Well, guess what? Imagine someone's getting mana screwed. They're like stuck at 1 land. They have 7 cards in hand. Well, guess what, buddy? I'll do a deal for you. I'll Jester's Mask and stack your hand with a bunch of lands. You could also just stack your opponent's hand with like the answer that you need to the table. That actually would work as well if you know someone has something. You can dance if you want to. You can dance if you want to.
You can leave your friends behind.
Okay, moving on. Let's go with Nathan's Obelisk of Undoing. Okay, apparently there's a lot of obelisks around there of Undoing. Pay 1 artifact. 6, tap. Return target permanent you own and control to your hand. How old is this card? This is from Antiquities. Even back then, they saw the problem of people stealing your stuff. Which was, I think, exclusively a blue thing back then. I think that was exclusively a blue thing. The Battle of Tomakul taught Urza not to rely on fickle reinforcements. I think we did Apocalypse Chime. This seems terrible. Hey! What if someone's, return any number of permanents in play to your hand? Hold on. It says return... Okay, the Oracle text is return target permanent you both own and control to your hand. Oh, no. Okay, so this can't be for anything that was stolen. You're basically, like, protecting something that's going to get hit by a wrath or something like that. Yeah. And you have to tap it. And you have to... It's a mono artifact. Mono. Don't get mono unless it's mono artifact. And it's on the reserve. Oh, wait a minute. This is not even on the reserve list. What are we even talking? Okay, this is not even reserve list. Yeah, this is supposed to be a reserve. This is a reserve list card show. Okay, sorry about that. Moving on. This is completely disqualified.
Galaxy Animation suggests your mom.
That is not a reserve list card.
Look it up.
It does not exist.
I bet it does.
Ruff said, did anyone mention Razor Boomerang? I don't think that's on the reserve list either. No, yeah, that's definitely not on the reserve list. Has to be a reserve list card. Well, with Paul Rog, the Nova Pentacle. See, just because it's on the reserve list doesn't mean... Actually, it's very funny. There are some really crappy cards on this reserve list worth a lot of money, and then there are some playable-looking cards that are worthless. Okay, we have 4 mana. For an artifact, pay 3, tap. The next time a source of your choice would deal damage to you this turn, that damage is dealt to target creature of an opponent's choice instead. Next time a source of your choice would deal damage to me, the damage is dealt to target creature of an opponent. Oh, that's interesting. So we could, if they attack me, I activate, then another opponent can have it redirected to something else. Perhaps something attacking them.
It's $37.
It is, yeah. Well, it's got some defensive capabilities. And you don't, like, you're only going to pay the 3 mana if you get attacked. So you just have to make sure you have 3 mana open the entire time.
We got a bomb here.
No, we don't. They're all in order. Pacers fan forever. Thank you very much for your super chat. Aegis of the Meek. Okay, 3 mana for an artifact. Pay 1. Tap. Target 1/1 creature gets +1/+2 until end of turn. This is just a strictly worse... what's the land called? You would even know it. Pendlehaven. This is just a bad Pendlehaven. So we already have Pendelhaven, which came out before this. Why would they make this reserve list? And Pendelhaven is just allowed... Hold on. Pendelhaven? Am I thinking of the right card? Yeah. And this came from Legends. This was printed first. This isn't on the reserve list. And it literally adds mana. And anyone can play this. And then they print a stone cold worse version of this in every single damn way. I mean, this is so bad. You have to pay 3 mana for an artifact. Like, come on, this is a land. Anyone can put this in their deck. Even if you're a, well, I mean, in Commander, you have the color identity issue. But, like, in general, anyone can put this damn card in the deck. Hey, don't be talking about my powder keg like that, someone 2-4C. That's basically Ratchet Bomb. You don't speak badly about powder keg in these parts. Yeah, that is just wild that they put this on the reserve list. I don't know, was it good in block constructed or something for some reason? But really, it's pointless. It's their first try at equipment. I guess so. Printed late. Anyway, it's a bit bizarre. Okay, who are we gonna go to next? Let's get another one from King Ginger. Hello, hi. King Ginger's Alcor's Tome. Alcor's Tome. We got 4 mana artifact, pay 2 tap. Target permanent you control becomes the color of your choice.
Wow.
Target permanent you control. It was sort of relevant back then to have these sort of weird cards because someone would have Circle of Protection out, and if they had Circle of Protection, say black, this was a way of getting around that, I guess. Because like black back then had no way of dealing with enchantments, or like really crap. I don't know. Maybe it was they had really crappy ways of dealing with enchantments.
Mother of Runes would get stomped by this.
Target permanent you control becomes the color of choice. I guess so. Yeah, if you want to beat Mother of Runes or Giver of Runes, yeah, you go to the Alcor's Tome. Alcor knows how to get it done. Next up, we've got Jay. Thanks so much, Jay. Did you win your Commander game? I did not. I was close. I had this awkward situation. So I played Commander the other day on stream with Crew Hitsuku. And there was a situation where it's 3 ways. One guy's a huge threat. One guy is a no threat at all because he has no cards in hand. And so I play Windfall. I have no cards in my hand. One other person who has no cards in hand. But there was one person with 7 cards in hand, so we all get 7 cards. And anyway, the mono red player won. Who had 0 went to 7. It's very dangerous. Don't give the mono red player. But I had no choice. I had to play that Windfall. I had to. We were gonna die to the person with 7 cards in hand. Okay, let's go with Kev Jr. with the Ice Cauldron. Oh, this is a messed up card. It is on the reserve list. All right, 4 mana. Screw it. I am not reading the old text. Okay, we pay X tap. You may exile an online card from your hand. You may cast that card as long as it remains exiled. Put a charge counter on Ice Cauldron and note the type and amount of mana spent to pay this activation cost. Activate only if there are no charge counters on Ice Cauldron. Also tap, remove a charge counter from Ice Cauldron. Add Ice Cauldron's last noted type and amount of mana. Spend this mana only to cast the last card exiled with Ice Cauldron. Some weird... It's like a charge-up card, isn't it?
You're gonna need like a notepad for all these cards that ask you to note what you spent to do this.
And what's funny is like notes were like a long time ago. They were very picky about note taking. Like you had to like memorize everything. I guess these cards were an exception to the rule. Did it actually say note? Remove counter.
Yeah, note the type.
To add last used.
Note the type.
Note the type and amount. All right, we are allowed to note. Noting is allowed. Nikachu seeing old text. Don't you quote the scriptures to me. I was there when they were written. In some ways, yes. In some ways, no. I didn't play back then. Okay, next up. Stark Star Ashura. Thanks so much for your super chat. I know how much Nika Bro loves to shuffle the library. So, for him, Temporal... Aperture.
Never heard of this one.
Yeah, there's a lot of cards I've never heard of. Oh, this is a weird one. Pay 2, artifact. Pay 5, tap. It's a mono artifact. Shuffle your library and reveal the top card until end of turn. As long as that card remains on top of your library, you may play the card as though it were in your hand without paying its casting cost.
Wow.
If the spell has X and its casting cost, X is 0.
That is great. This is a premium.
You like this card?
Yeah.
Well, it's a $1 card. You can own it you can own it tomorrow if you have $1.
So for 5 mana, you just pay whatever. You just whatever's on top of your library, put it on the battlefield.
It's like Urza. It's basically Urza. Yeah, it's Urza's second ability on an artifact. So if you want both of them, Urza has a lot of abilities. You can tap artifacts, add blue, you get a construct. But also, yeah, it's like shuffle your library, reveal the top card until end of turn. You can play the damn thing without paying its casting cost. It's a complete gamble, though. Like, you remember, you're shuffling your library.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going to come out on top. Could be a damn land.
It's fine.
You want a land? You want to pay 5 mana to go get a land, put it on the battlefield? You still only allowed 1 land per turn. Anyway.
I've never seen this card and I'm old.
Oh, I like this. Rough here. Top card of the graveyard. They are 35 minutes behind the stream. But they'll catch up. Shout out to Ruff from the future. They'll see it in the past. Eventually. Okay, let's get a freebie. Someone 2-4C with Ventif. We looked at Ventifact. We looked at the bottle. You were there, some 4 and 2-4. I swear you were there.
How about City?
Am I tripping or I hear another voice? There is another voice. It's my brother. He shows up for streams where I'm gonna have gameplay streams in the evening or afternoon.
How about City?
High Tide is not only reserve list. Sorry, not only is it not reserve list, it's a blue card. Okay, let's go with Matthias with Well of Knowledge. Well of Knowledge is a 3-mana artifact. Any player can pay 2 during their draw phase to draw a card. Wow! And players may use this ability as many times as they choose. This card's insane!
It's only $4.
Draw a card. Any player may activate this ability, but only during their draw step. This actually is a bonkers card. If you have infinite mana, you just draw your entire deck. It's a $4 card. This is completely. I think nobody knows this card exists. The downside is your opponents also get the ability, so they also draw a card. This is a very group hug like Jack. Yeah, holy group hug, Batman.
Goodbye, Dogstar. Enjoy the walk.
Yeah, this is a pretty neat card. So, you know, if you want a Well the Knowledge, you can get it for $4. Gabe already ahead of the curve here with the Well of Knowledge. I'm trying to think of other ways you can use this card. I mean, obviously, if you're empty-handed, is it during your draw step? Any player may activate this ability only during the draw step. So you're allowed to draw your card for the turn, see what it is. Let's say it's a land. You just pay 2, draw another card. If it's another garbage card, pay another 2. Like, there's no limit to this. You just dump all your mana into the Well of Knowledge. Pretty sick card, in my opinion. Okay, yo little Ted. The Cyclopean Tomb. Cyclopean Tomb was a card you had to find in the mini dungeons in Chandalar. What, the game? Yeah, I think you're talking about the game. Cyclopean Tomb. Oh, God. No, not reading this. Okay, pay 2, tap. Put a Mire counter on target non-swamp land. I don't know why it has to be a non-swamp. That land is a swamp, as long as it has a Mire counter on it. Activate only during your upkeep. All right, Street Wraith, you now have Swamp Walk online. When Cyclopean Tomb is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, at the beginning of each of your upkeeps for the rest of the game, remove all Mire counters from a land that a Mire counter was put onto with Cyclopean Tomb, but that a Mire counter has not been removed from Cyclopean Tomb. Okay, and my response to that is what? Leave your... That did not really clear anything up for me. Okay, so maybe the real text will actually be easier. Maybe this is one of those situations, the real text.
No, it's the same.
It's
Last part is the same, word for word.
Okay, we're going to go to Alpha. Alpha, save me here. Okay, Alpha. Pay 2, turn any one non-swamp land into swamp during upkeep. That is so crystal clear. Mark the changed lands with tokens. If Cyclopean Tomb is destroyed, remove 1 token of your choice each upkeep, returning that land to its original nature. Ah, okay. That is actually better. That is worded way better. in Alpha than it was in modern day Magic.
It's also worth 5,000 euros.
Well, only the Alpha version. That's the OG. Oh yeah, a Cyclopean Tomb had no mana cost in Alpha. Oh, what? Did they give it a mana cost? What the hell? It's got no mana cost. I'll just play this for... You can't even play it back then. You need to Cascade into it. And they wouldn't invent Cascade for like another 25 years. Like, when did they errata it? Was it in beta? Oh, they fixed it in beta. Yeah, that's funny. Whoops. We got to invent a card type. So they really screwed up with Alpha. Imagine opening this. Like, what do you do with this? Just stare at it in your hand? Yeah, that's really funny. No mana cost. It was free back then. Okay, I think that was a super chatted card, so let's go with Delph's Cube. Is it Delph's Cube or Delph's Cube? I think it's Delph. I don't know why I know this card. I've heard of it before. It's in my memory bank somewhere. Pay 1, artifact. Pay 2, tap. If target creature you control attacks and is not blocked, it deals no damage to opponent. If target creature you control attacks and is not blocked, it deals... Why would I want that to happen? Instead, put a cube counter on Delph's Cube. Also, pay 2, remove a counter from remove a cube counter to regenerate a target creature. This card's terrible. Oh yes, let me attack with my own creature and then have it not deal any damage. And then in exchange, I can defend the creature in the future with regenerate. Fallen Empire's worst set ever. Hey, that's debatable. Homelands was gonna have a word with you. Actually, I don't know which one's worse. There might be literally stone cold nothing. At least Homelands had Merchant Scroll. In the debate between the worst set, Fallen Empires and Homelands. Homelands can always say, well, we have Merchant Scroll. I think they have High Tide, though, here, right? Yeah, that was a Fallen. That's a pretty broken card. That saw a lot of broken play. Yeah. I don't know who wins the war of crappiest set ever, but I don't think it's clearly Fallen Empires. Fallen Empires has better commons. Oh, so it sees a lot of play in, what's it called? It sees a lot of play in Pauper. Alpha Nerd with Masticore.
That's that weird creature.
What's weird about it? Let's look at the original Masticore. Yeah, this card aged like absolute sour milk. Basically, it's it's like it aged as badly as an orange sitting in the sun outside for many years, and it's just this green, moldy dust on a tree stump. 4 mana for a 4/4. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may choose and discard a card from your hand. If you don't, sacrifice Masticore. Pay 2. Masticore deals 1 damage to target creature. Also pay 2. Regenerate Masticore. Like, these days, you show this card to someone, they'll be like, this thing sucks. They would have no idea that this was actually like a tier 0 card way back in the day that everyone played. Yeah, the superstar that is just stone... It's hard to believe this card was so good and overpowering. I guess there's just so much mana back then that this overpowered everything else, and there's no way to kill it once it was on the battlefield. And so... But you know what? The most annoying thing was trying to remember to discard a card at your upkeep. That was so painful. So painful. What's the extra mouths for? Singing in harmony? Yeah, it's possible. David Sampson with Island of Whack Whack. If I remember correctly, this is a very expensive card for no damn reason. Island of Whack Whack!
Yeah, $417.
$417. Tap to reduce target flying creature's power to 0 in exchange for not being able to tap for mana. I'm not gonna lie, I like the picture. I like the ability. I just don't think that it's not that good. Would anyone even play this in Pauper? Maybe, actually. I guess it can, like, answer Delver of Secrets.
People would play this in Modern.
You know what this is? This is a situational crappier Maze of Ith, now that I think about it. Like, Maze of Ith is like, okay, prevent all the damage from anything, and it doesn't care if you fly or not. Does Maze of Ith, I think, also doesn't tap for mana. Maze of Ith. Yeah, this is a far superior card. So this is just a crappier Maze of Ith. Much more expensive, though. I remember comboing back with Moat back in the day. Oh, wow. I've got Moat. And then your opponent says, I don't care about your moat because my creatures have flying, which can fly over your moat. And then you could respond saying, I don't care about your flying creatures because I have the Island of Whack Whack, which when tapped, reduces the power of your flying creatures for 0. And your opponent goes, it's all over.
Steve Cooper says they definitely opposes President Flying.
Yeah, that's right. They work for President Deeply. They vote for Deeply. They vote for Deeply in these parts. All right, we got Spectral Maniac. Thank you very much for the super chat. Ring of Maruf. Ring of... All these rings were terrible. Maybe the worst wish ever effect. It's a wish? Pay 5. And then also pay another 5. Tap remove Ring of Maruf from the game. The next time you would draw a card this turn, instead choose a card you own from outside the game and put it into your hand.
$200.
But you know what? Outside the game is still outside the game. Which doesn't work in Commander if I remember correctly. Like you guys don't have like from outside the game cards. You have to like rule 0 them in, which is weird. I don't understand why you have to do that. Maybe it makes the wishes, like, completely broken. The next time you would draw a card this turn, instead choose a card you own. Next time you would draw a card. The effect is sort of broken. You do this repeatedly. Yeah, no wishing in Commander allowed. It's illegal. But it's not that bad. You know what? If it wasn't for the non-wishing thing, this is broken. Commander has no sideboard. But when it comes to wishes, the rules actually state that you can pull the card out of your collection from anywhere. It's really dumb in that way. So remove Ring of Maruf from the game. The next time you would draw a card, you just get anything you want from the game. This card's absolutely busted, actually. I take it back. This card's absolutely stone cold busted. In the right environment, if you're allowed to play it. It's just 5 mana. Get anything you want. And by the way, if you can get anything from your collection, does that mean you can have like 20 Emrakuls? You can go beyond the 4 card per deck limit because it's not in your deck, it's in your collection. Yeah. That's in a completely different zone.
Like if you're the owner of the local game store, is everything yours? Yes,
that's right. Imagine the owner of a local game store is playing with Ring Maruf and they're like, okay, I'm gonna go get this from back storage. Looking up on their phone. How do I deal with this situation? Okay, I know where that is. I know what section of my storage that is. Yeah, only tournaments restrict wishes to sideboards. You know, I wouldn't really put it like that. I think the wishes by default are restricted to sideboards. It's only in casual games that wishes are expanded to whatever the hell you want. Whatever you want. Sideboard is a tournament rule for wishing. EDH is supposed to be a casual format. Bring back the wish cards! I can only imagine this would be completely busted.
That's broken.
Yeah, that's broken! Absolutely broken. Alright, next up... Just getting something ready. Let's do Crowcore games. With the Mana Web. In response, I tap my lands. Mana Web is a 3-mana artifact. Whenever any land target opponent controls is tapped for mana, tap all lands they control and that can produce any type of mana that land can produce. Is that exactly as we say it? Whenever a land is opponent controls is tapped for mana, tap all lands that player controls. This would do absolutely nothing today. I mean, the deal is with this card is... tap all lands player controls that can produce any. So the idea is if you tap one land, you're basically tapping them all. So if you play at sorcery speed, you are not going to play anything at instant speed on following turns. Mana Web doesn't seem so bad versus control decks. I don't know if control decks would care. I mean, maybe in some way, like they can't play like a Planeswalker and pass the turn with counterspell mana up, if that's what you mean. So, I mean, that's true, but those types of control decks might also just be tapping out all the time anyway. Also, you know, they do play free spells like Subtlety, Force of Will, Force of Negation, Daze, Thwart, Foil. They have it all. Okay, next up, let's go look. We did the Sandals of Abdallah. I swear you were there too. You were
just
there,
trolling.
1, 2, 4C. You were there. I don't know if it forces you to add mana. Tap all lands they control that can produce any type of mana that land can produce. Maybe. There's more robust ways to play around control decks for 3 mana, I think. Still, it's an interesting card in that, like, you tap lands, you're tapping them all. You don't even get to tap your lands, attack, and then tap your lands on your second main phase. It don't work like that. If they paid any mana during upkeep, they would be out of mana. Oh, that's true! Wow, this had a massive effect on Echo upkeep, commutative upkeep. I didn't even see that angle. Neat observation, David Sampson. Look at the big brain on David Sampson here. Okay, what do we owe here? We got to do a freebie now. Let's look at a freebie. The Thran Forge. It is a 3-mana artifact. Pay 2. Until end of turn, target non-artifact creature gets +1/+0 and is an artifact creature. Welcome to the club. You're an artifact now. Seems very Phyrexian to me.
Illustrated by Poole.
Yeah, Mark Poole.
I saw him in Vegas.
Oh yeah, you showed him the...
Yeah, the Urza's Tower thing. He thought it was great.
My brother made an Urza's Tower animation. Crowcore Games. Okay, what do you got for us now? Knowledge Vault. I mean, okay, in Madness, but, yeah. Okay, pay 4. It's a mono artifact. Let's look at the mono artifact. Let's read the original. Pay 2. Somehow the old cards are sometimes more clear than the new cards. Oh, they got rid of mono artifact at this point. We got the tap symbol. Pay 2 tap, take a card from your library without looking at it and place it face down under Knowledge Vault. Sacrifice Knowledge Vault to discard entire hand and take the cards under the vault in your hand. If Knowledge Vault leaves play, put all cards under it into your graveyard. Oh god, that part sucks. That's sad. Knowledge Vault gets too big, they can blow it up and you get nothing. This is a weird picture. Look, you got the hips and legs. It's like they're trying to artistically create a person here or something. And the body is a book. And this telephone dial is the head. What else can this be?
That's the faces of the moon.
Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, we're missing a 9 and a 0. That's the first thing that I thought of. That's like an old-fashioned telephone dial. I like that frog on the left side of the art. There's a frog? Oh, there is a frog. Yeah, this is like a Where's Waldo thing. Can you find the frog? Can you find the brain? Can you find the wasp, I guess? Doesn't look very bee-like. Amy Weaver smokes her lunch. Yeah, what is it called? Time Walk? Yeah, there's clocks on the faces. All right, let's get a freebie here. Okay, Tony, the Pokemon guy with Benthic Dejin. Is this colorless? Not colorless! It's on the reserve list, though, but not a colorless card. Sorry, doesn't work for this show. Oh, I guess one day I should look to see how many gold cards there are. Maybe they'll have one more show on this, but gold cards. Imagine discarding your entire hand for 1 card. Hey, maybe that hand was garbage. Okay, the Balm of Restoration. From Christopher B. It is a 2-mana artifact. Pay 1 tap. Sacrifice Balm of Restoration to gain 2 life or to prevent up to 2 damage to any player or creature. That was a big color. Well, I wouldn't call it a color pie break, but it is like, it basically gives anyone access to Healing Salve. All right, time to just look at super chats. We have Alpha Nerd. What do you got for us, Alpha Nerd? Undiscovered Paradise. Awesome in Landfall. This is on the reserve list? Tap, add 1 mana of any color to mana pool. At the beginning of your next untap phase, return Undiscovered Paradise to owner's hand. Oh, that sucks. That is very bad. So it's just a bad... Well, I mean, it's not a bad City of Brass. What is this a bad version of? I guess it's a hard sell. I mean, there's no land that adds 1 mana of any color without a downside. And this has literally no downside except bouncing it to their hand. I'll take Ancient Ziggurat over this thing any day. Joriel's choice of homes was far better than her choice of allies, or choice of lands. Crowcar Games. There's some people that just love certain shows, and this is a fan of Crowcar Games. Pyramid, 6 mana for what? Oh, we did that one. We did that one, Crowcar Games, which means you were there. I swear you were there. It was an old one. You've been here since the beginning of the show. Okay, we're going to give this one... Who are we going to give it to? Turiat with Halls of Mist. Oh, it's a land. Okay, cumulative upkeep, 1. No creature can attack if it attacked during its controller's last turn. So it basically stuns creatures, but at the cost that you have to keep paying for this damn thing. And you still can get attacked. It's like, it literally doesn't prevent you from getting attacked. You will still get attacked. You'll take the damage. It just won't untap for like 1 turn, right? No creature that attack last. So no, sorry. It is going to untap, but it just doesn't attack. Creatures that attack during their controller's last turn can't attack. Yeah, you just take a turn off. Unbelievable.
Yeah, just take a breather.
I wonder if anyone used it for guaranteed landfall triggers. That is a great idea, the Abyssal Soul. Hold on, let's go back to that. I forgot about the Undiscovered Paradise. You know, Oboro is so expensive because of the landfall people. Like, Oboro doesn't really go into a lot of decks, right? But it's got this magical ability of paying 1, returning it back to your hand to replay it for landfall triggers. This is a great idea for landfall. Yeah, you can tap if you have no land drop. If you have no land drops to make, just tap this for mana, replay it, and boom, you got landfall. All your pie says you basically get half damage over time. You also get half your you're also losing your mana over time. This is cumulative upkeep. Pay 1, then you gotta pay 2, then you gotta pay 3, then 4, then 5, and then eventually you sack your Hall of Mists. Your Hall of Mists will become Mists. Okay, Crowcar Games gonna let us know about the rules to Magic the Gathering. Technically, attractions are a sideboard and considered outside the game, but wish effects don't work with them because they go their graveyard when they move zones. I have no idea what you mean here. So, I guess there was a question maybe about attractions. So technically, attractions are a sideboard and considered outside the game, but wish effects don't work with them because they go their graveyard when they move zones. What do you mean by they? You mean the wish or the attractions? But either way, thank you for letting us know. They basically move their own... Oh, you mean they have their own graveyard as a zone when they die. So like when you're done with an attraction, it goes to its own specific attraction graveyard. We call that the garbage. That's what happens at a carnival. You throw your garbage into the garbage. Okay, we're gonna donate this to Chen Fred. Forethought Amulet. It is a 5-mana artifact. Pay 3 during your upkeep or Forethought Amulet is destroyed. So you have to upkeep every single turn. If you receive more than 2 damage from a sorcery or instant source, that damage is reduced to 2. If you receive more than 2 damage, that's not good. That's all I'm saying. I'm like, yeah, that's not bad, but I gotta pay 3 mana for the rest of my life on this thing.
$23.
That's a tax I'm not willing to pay. All right, and we got Safifi with City in a Bottle. Seems horrible, but counters Bazaar of Baghdad. Okay, City in a Bottle. Very narrow. Also insanely expensive. Let's look at the original one. $450 to destroy your opponent's... I mean, you know what? You know what also destroys Bazaar of Baghdad? Wasteland. Demolition Field. What's called? Strip Mine. Ghost Quarter. Field of Ruin. Dust Bowl. Tectonic Edge, under some circumstances. There's a lot of ways of destroying this. Or you could spend $450 for the City in a Bottle. All cards from Arabian Nights must be discarded from play, except for City in a Bottle. While City in a Bottle is in play, no further cards from Arabian Nights can be played. I also think this is one of the nicest pictures of all those cards that say you can't play anything from that set anymore. Nope.
They gotta bring that mechanic back.
Yeah, Modern Horizons in a bottle. That'd be hilarious. Cards from that would be so game warping. I wonder how the whole metagame would change if they created like a 2-mana artifact, Modern Horizons in a bottle, like, and anything from any expansion of Modern Horizons 2, or Modern Horizons 3, which is coming out this summer, can't be played and are destroyed. That'd be wild. Modern Horizons in a bottle would actually be really good. Finally, the balance to the format we didn't think we wanted, but we actually need. Alright, Alpha Nerd with Thran Tome. I swear we looked at this one. Maybe not.
No, we looked at Thran Cube or whatever.
A lot of Thran stuff out there. Pay 4, artifact. Pay 5, tap. Reveal the top 3 cards of your library to target opponents. All right, take a look at these. Bury one of those cards of that opponent's choice. Draw the remaining cards. Oh, so you draw 2 cards. This is not that bad. So I mean, it's pretty expensive, but it's like It's like a 5-mana repeated factor fiction. And now it's really clunky, but I mean, if you have the time.
92 cents.
Yeah, that's right. Grokar Games with the Acidic Dagger.
Yeah, we saw this.
Yeah, we saw it. How are you not there, Crowcore Games? How are you not there? You were born there.
Draconian Silex.
Let's get this. Let's get Rainers. Some 1-2-4C got a few cards. We gotta spread it around. Otherwise, no one would show up. If I gave everything to like one person or 2 people over and over again.
You can almost see his bingus.
We got nudity here. Oh wait, where's his arm? Okay, I'm assuming this guy's dead already. Okay, we have a 4-mana artifact at the end of each player's turn. If that player has 5 or less life, Razor Pendulum deals 2 damage to him or her. So basically, you're basically getting kicked while you're already down. At the end of each player's turn, if that player has 5 or less life, it deals 2 damage to them. So like, when they're very close to dead, then they're basically dead.
Pretty great mechanic. You should bring that back to Modern.
What?
This thing where it's like, if you're at a certain point, you're gonna start getting damage dealt to no matter what.
It reminds me of. There are a few things like that. Like if their life total is low, your creatures actually get bigger and better and stronger, and have lifelink. All right, Crowcore Game says we're not finishing the show off yet. We've got the Xanthic statue. Okay, it's an 8-mana artifact. Pay 5 until end of turn. Xanthic statue is an 8/8 artifact creature with trample. Yeah, that's garbage. Stone cold crap. Dude, you know what? I mean, no, I'm not. I can't defend this card. I mean,
Platinum Empyrean.
I guess a control deck might want this with sweepers, and then like once the game has gone long enough, you pay 8 mana, you put this thing. It's basically a 3-turn clock. So I guess it's got that going for it. He's a dead lord, is he? Or are you talking about this last guy, the Razor Pendulum? Telemtor. Who is this at the bottom here? Who's activating this?
Kind of looks like a Yu-Gi-Oh guy.
Yeah, it's Yugi. It's Yugi himself. Welcome to Exodia. Yeah, nobody wants this thing. Okay, we'll do last one. Alpha Nerd with. Okay, well, it's not going to be the last one. Alpha Nerd with Elven Graveyard. We did that one.
It was the first card.
It was the first card, yeah. Sorry about that, Alpha Nerd. You weren't there for that one. So we'll give it to Arcanus's Life Matrix. Everything is like, all these bad artifacts are Thran something or something Matrix. Pay 4, artifact. Pay 4 again, tap. Or during your upkeep, put 1 counter on target creature. You may remove this counter anytime to regenerate that creature. So you're basically giving something a regeneration counter. Look at that, the original regeneration counters. Actually, do they have that these days? No, they have like death touch counters and all this other weird crap.
$38.
Yeah. We got Junior Jones with City in a Bottle. We did that one.
Yeah, like,
Didn't we do that literally like 2 minutes ago?
yes.
Okay, so we're going to donate that one as well. But thank you so much for the super chat anyway. Okay, we'll get... Okay, so, you happy we're going to get some 1-2-4Cs? Draconian Silex. It is a 3-mana artifact with 2 mana tap. Discard a card at random from your hand to regenerate target creature.
Pretty good.
So all of a sudden, if you thought your creature was almost dead, well, guess what? It's back. It's back, baby. It's better than ever.
Illustrated by Edward P. Beard.
You do have to discard a card at random from your hand. Good question. Do you need to have a card in your hand to activate this ability? I'm not sure. I think you just pay 2, tap, the ability happens, and then, I mean, you try to discard a card, but if nothing happens, then whatever, you still regenerate your target creature. If I understand correctly. Okay, Alpha Nerd. What do you got for us? Force Field, silly but broken. It is part of the reserve list. It's a weird one. Okay, we got a 3-mana artifact. Pay 1. Let's look at Alpha. How did they explain it back then? Pay 3. Poly artifact, not mono. Okay, and you can pay 1. Lose only 1 life to an unblocked creature. So I'm assuming if you were to take damage from a creature, from target creature, it deals 1 damage. Okay, it's worded, the next time an unblocked creature of your choice would deal combat damage to you this turn, prevent all but 1 of that damage. The discard isn't in the cost, so that's how it works. Yeah, I knew it. Look at that. That card is more broken than it looks. Well, technically still being useless. Yeah, you got that right. You knew it! You could sense it. All right, thank you very much for being here for part of Coffee and MTG. If you want to be part of the show, you got to be here Monday to Friday, 11 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. Hope you had a great show with all of us. Also, thank you very much everyone who supports the show. If you're a patron on Patreon, a member on YouTube, or you super chat to become part of the show. Also, we got to thank everyone who's here in the morning, because without I would have no show at all. We have Arcanus and the Phoenix Down. We've got Safifi, Crowcore Games, Toads, Chen Fred, Lord Trevor, Junior Jones, Christopher B, Rayner, Paul Rogg. Who else do we have here? David Sampson, Jas, because without all you guys, I would have no show at all. So as usual, my coffee crew, keep brewing up them coffees, and we'll keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you at the next cup.